Recording? Heh. Okay. Okay. Alright. Is it recording? Is it recording? They're both peeking at like yellow. Oh shit, okay. No, no, no. The way that I approach or handle drawing like rocks or rubble or like cracked pavement or what so have you, it involves I try to keep it as simple as possible. So most of the groundwork is being dealt with just like one brush primarily, but this is what I sketched up in preparation. So I'm gonna recreate it, but I'll do another example of how I did it. So use just three colors and basically what I used here for a tool is gonna be this lasso tool and what does that say? The gooch brush. I'm going to use the lasso and gooch brush. So, let's see here. Just sort of, that's fucking too spiky. Just think about the rough shape of like a turd-like rock. Right there. See that? Okay. And I'll just go with a different color or something. No, wait. No, it should be better if I use the colors I have in the example. So it's not to fool people. Okay. So, I just fill that in right there. You got the standard silhouette of like whatever rock you want, and it can be any random shape. You just try to keep it as believably like rock-like as possible. You know, like it's a a broken piece. So now we make a new layer, and then we go in and get the gooch brush, and then I don't know what size do I want for this. I forgot which size I used. I think around 150 or something. Oh, that's a little big. Maybe just 100. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now just begin to just do massive. Actually, 250 was pretty good. Massive strokes of where the fuck you think the shading should be. Just really generalize it. Hit those corners over there where some of the sunlight would be, I guess, just to give it more depth or whatever. I use this little technique to try because I don't really know what I'm doing. I try to just instinctualize it. What I do is I'm not gonna record it because I'll look stupid. But shit, I almost swallowed the wrong pipe. Okay, so what you want to do is like kind of go cross-eyed, but close one of your eyes, and that will blur your vision. And what that helps me to do is if I blur my vision, I can approximate the way I want something to look without focusing too much on other details. I'll just miss it all. So if I just blur my vision, all of my perspective just falls into one spot, so now it's easier to deal with. If you're able to do that, go ahead. Don't cross your eyes too hard or anything. You'll become retarded if you do that. But now I can, with those broad strokes laid in there, look, it's like a good old sedimentary rock. It's compared to this one's like more rounded or whatever. This one I'm doing right now is more flat, like it came from the piece of concrete or something. It's not what I'm going for right now, but so as long as you have a masking layer, just go ahead and get a smaller size of the same gooch brush. I will be calling that from now on. Get the smaller gooch and then just try to darken certain spots, but don't do it like an idiot. I don't like how some of this is happening. Turn the video off. This isn't real. This isn't good. Don't follow any of this information. Okay, again, just go in and get some of that there. What I like to do is maybe a little smaller than that. I think around a 10, size 10 or something. Yeah, right there. Little cracks just sort of forming around it or something. Little disturbances in the structure. Get some stuff like that. Get some little, not really creative. What do you call it? Little pits. Just little pits. Get its little pits, little dots here and there. Just scatter it naturally. Kind of freckle it or something. And it'll start to stand out. It'll start to become more like what you want it to be. Now, This is more advice for, or a tip for, like, background art type thing. So, generally, especially whenever I use this technique or something, I don't want to go like that hard with it. I'm still very inexperienced with like real deal backgrounds. I would only ever do like low detail, low render backgrounds and backgrounds. Holy shit! What, Chicago? I do low detail, low render backgrounds so that not only just to save time, but I know no one really is gonna give a shit. It just needs to complement what's in the foreground, and I typically make the foreground like whatever's in front of your face big enough so that there's not that much negative space around them, and whatever bit of background I choose to make will be it'll be pretty conservative. So yeah, just keep going, just keep going. I should just fucking speed up past some of this shit. Like, oh Jesus, don't use the eraser yet. Although you could, okay, that is a good thing to measure out here. Like this eraser, like you see that? That is sort of giving it like artificial lighting, more shapeliness right there. But what I would advise is that you go back into your Gooch brush and click the right here all the way to the right. This alpha thing with the checkerboard. This is basically an eraser, but it's an eraser for the brush that you're using, in the shape of the brush that you're using. So, I mean, if you didn't know that, now you know. This is I love that using that technique for a lot of stuff like this. I don't want to say that's good yet. I'm a bit spectrumy, so I want this to satisfy me. It needs to please me. Okay. Okay. It's not done yet to me, which is that's a problem. That is a problem. I don't need to care about this little, like, see me doing this. Are you gonna notice that this little thing I did right here, this little slightly darker part? No. But your brain probably will notice. Is that how the saying goes? Your brain did. But and also this particular brush, its darkness is based on pressure sensitivity. It's based on pressure sensitivity. So, it will be pretty easy to get. You won't have to like keep getting a different color. So I almost recommend that if you're shading in rocks or whatever, that you use like a pretty dark color, because I'm using this palette right now. This is real dark compared to like the rest of these, and you're about to see what this lighter one is going to do at the end here. Ooh, there we go. All right, so next one, and this isn't necessary. This isn't necessary to do. This is good as is, because like, see if I zoom out back like this or whatever, you use the same technique for, I don't know, over and over again. Like if you need more like rock space to do shit like that, then by all means, this is fine. Anyone zooming in on that and critiquing it is just an asshole. So, but if you wanna own these chuds, what does that? The fuck does that mean? So, all right, go back into your Gooch, get it up to, dilate it to like 150, and then just start to fill in where like most of the highlight areas are gonna be. See, look at that. See that? You seeing that right now? Bring it back down to probably 80 or something. Cater to this little side more. Oh, that's beautiful. See? It's a little like sediments. There's like you gotta treat it like little staircase steps or something right there. This is how they faked the moon landing, by the way. They just got people to just hyper realistically paint in the background. They didn't have to do too much back then. There was not that much detail people were worried about. You can fake a lot of things during that time. You can fake a lot of things now, but it's just a little more advanced. So you get that all squared away, and I keep accidentally double tapping my pen, so I'm like erasing with the wrong adjustments. But that was exactly where I was about to head. I was heading that way. Just start erasing parts that Otherwise, you want to adjust a little bit. Start. I would just pat it. Just tap it. Just start tapping the shit. Just start tapping the shit. Start pecking at it like a pet, like a pigeon. Just tap, 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 tap. In fact, this is getting way more detailed than I originally intended for it to be. But this highlight section isn't that like hard. You don't really need to focus on so much dexterity to get this part just right or whatever. Tap, 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 tap. But this is mainly, I've only tested this out with the gooch pen or whatever, so I mean just like tapping works out pretty well. In fact, I did not use the tapping technique for this one. It was, if you can tell, it was just like straight brushes across to sort of get the contour of the shape of this rock there or whatever. But you know, literally different strokes for different folks, and folks being rocks, I guess. So let me go back in and just fill this out again. I'm gonna do more tapping, but with like the highlight one, sort of over tapped in certain parts. I want to match the dimensionality of this rock a little better. Okay, let me go in and erase some of that. Now, I did lie. I forgot. One of the other techniques I used was taking the spray paint tool, going to soft, or I think soft because it covers more ground, around size 300, and just sort of keep it. Keep it on the eraser mode where it shows the alpha layer with the checkerboard thing, and then just start to softly weather away or erase, feather out some of those highlighting details, so it's not so overwhelming. I think I might have overdid that one a little bit. Yeah, just kind of pick a side, because usually when you're shading, when you're like highlighting a flat surface, what makes it pop out or stand out more is if you kind of pick a certain side for the light source to be stronger, and then it gradients out somewhere else. It becomes a little darker or whatever. Yeah. Go back to gooch. Yeah. Go to like third, 10. Just erase around there, around where I formed this crack right there. Yeah. See how it's starting to stand out? I didn't need to use the same dark shaded color to complete this line. All I did was just erase around the fucking color that was lighter than the other one right there. So yeah, that's not so bad. It's not so bad. You know what? Maybe I'll indicate more damage. Just sort of go crazy or do some more right here, right there. Yeah, bitch. There you go. Yeah. This is what Kubrick hired people for the moon landing. Now, okay, so there you go. There you have that sort of example of just getting a rock to manifest from just simple things. So like I showed you with the thing that was supposed to be the simplistic selling point was the fact that I'm using the lasso tool to just make an arbitrary shape. Now, maybe just to make it a little bit more, I don't know, like ground level or something that's not so like a destructive look, but something that's at least weathered, so it's easier on me, because making something look perfect is fucking hard. You got to go to someone else for that. Here's just I'll just do one more. Let me get this, give this a folder, its own folder. Yeah, there you go. And on this side, I'll just do just tiled, just like concrete tiles or something like that. I think I'll do sort of a warped perspective. I might regret this. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay. So, you don't have to worry about these connecting entirely. In fact, I'm not. Why? Because the one flaw of the gooch brush is that when you apply it lightly, it tapers out. You can't really... It doesn't really complete anything. It's like a dry brush, I guess. So, consistency requires pressure, but pressure also keeps you from being able to control how dark you want it to be. It has to be really dark if you want it to be consistent, but in any case. Now I've used this sort of thing before where it's not gonna. This is not universally helpful. I should have just done it like straight, but this is how I'm used to doing it whenever I have like characters in like the. If I had, I've done this a couple times with certain drawings where like, for example, I'll like this. This will be like the floor, but the character will be like right here, some shit. Yeah, some shit like that, or fucking other people right there. Yeah, I would usually do stuff like that a lot, so it would not be like super. I would not worry about, like, again, I try to give it some like fun leeway stuff. That way I can like disguise any imperfection or mistakes by simply warping or bending the perspective a bit. Now, you know what? Given the circumstances, I would say it's fair to use like the regular eraser tool, even though it's like straighter or whatever. That helps to. There's like less detail to worry about here, so it doesn't even. That sort of thing doesn't matter. But I still, in these cases, I still add, because this is about destructive rock formation, so I would still add little things like that, like a crack right there or something. Yeah, a crack right here or something. Or yeah, have it carry through diagonally, or whichever fucking area you want it to be in. Now this might have to be smaller, much smaller. I got it down to. Gooch is down to a 4 now. Yeah. Now, I would say the way to think about applying cracks or whatever, it probably isn't. I haven't really tested it, but I guess it depends on like the material that you're implying as cracking. But like, I always think about the crack pattern. The crack pattern, how it gets distributed in urban cities. The crack pattern should be like sort of like lightning, you know? Should be like this and stuff. Maybe like do like a letter A sort of thing where you have that part in the middle, shade that in, give it some depth, you know? Just do the same things. Sort of follows that. Yeah, that sort of thing, that demographic. Maybe branches off, it does that again. Some crack patterns could just be like straight like this with a little chipping around it. And then maybe something like that. It's more like a letter Y sort of shape or something. But I guess it's sort of what I did here. It's kind of an ambient version of that, I guess. Whatever the fuck that meant. Yeah, just a little more roughed up impacts here and there. And it again, the more like subtle imperfections you add, the more it makes sense that it looks kind of bad. Because you're like, well, nothing good occurred here, so of course it looks like it's not that perfect. It's not like it's not gonna be like what the kind of like formations that you see. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. It's not gonna be like those kind of like formations that you see on like, I don't know, if you see like some anime and there's like an office building and you see the floors there, it's like prim and proper. Like that's all like, I don't know what fucking program they use to do all that shit. Again, I'm not a background artist at all, but from what little I know and knowing that there's a lot to know about art, and it's a lot nicer to know you don't need to know that much to be able to do something that looks remotely cool or something, then that's like fine by me. Now, let me see here. I think maybe I'll make this part like kind of like an epicenter. Maybe this has more like damage right there or whatever. Around this like epicentral whatever the fuck's going on here, I think I'll add like some arbitrary like rocks that are there. Let me pick where the shading's gonna be. Now here's a good trick of the eye. You see that? I basically made the letter C but with like a little bit of a bottom right there. that sort of makes it look like, oh, there's more rocks on the field here. I don't know where the light source is coming from at all, but you know, you could be smarter than me later. I don't know. Who gives a shit? Just put stuff like that right there, little things like that. That doesn't really look more like a rock. That just looks more like a miniature pothole for an ant. I come over, you show me your wife boobs, I'll give you high-speed internet. Give me boobies, I'll show you high-speed internet. God, I hope I don't have to shit again. This fucking... I have to do this fast. I'll be in trouble. You don't want that to happen. I'll continue this. I'll keep recording in the bathroom. I don't care. This is on an iPad. You think I can't draw on the go? Why else was this made? It was made to go in the doo-doo room, dude. I'll test that out. And I won't get in trouble either because you won't know if I'm there or not. I could be lying. I have gone into the bathroom to like finish a commission one time though. That shit was funny. I don't remember which one though, but one of the drawings I've made for somebody who someone paid for has been cursed with me like shitting while I was fucking drawing it or something. I hope they like it. I don't keep doing commissions right now. People ask me a lot, and I feel bad for like not saying anything, but I look. All right, look here. If you've gotten this far, and if I keep this part in, generally the rule of thumb is if the artist on their banner or like not their banner, but like their name around their name, if you see them like on Twitter or some shit, if it doesn't say commissions open or something, then assume that they're not. But asking if they do them isn't a crime or anything. That's fine, but like, you know, it's easier for everybody involved if you just like, I don't know, just look out for those signs. If you see signs of activity like that, and just be like, oh, I mean, usually questions like that are not going to get answered just because it's like, well, fuck, if I answer this one, I have to answer everybody else's. But I just hope, I don't know. I guess I could constantly just have my name say commissions closed next to it or whatever. Just always tweet that out every single day to make sure people know. But I don't. There's no point of that. There's no point in that. But usually, you know, I think a lot of the commissions I like doing now. If I ever go out of my way to like do a commission, just off kilter. And I never plan when I'm going to do them anyways. But if I decide to just do one on a whim, it's usually going to be because of the money involved and the project itself. If it's something that I personally am like, I'd be stoked to be a part of that. And I've gotten to do a couple of those things, like last year, year before, and shit. Like, they don't come around that often. I'm not always asking for work like that because, you know, I'm afraid of the amount of commitment I need to place towards someone else's thing instead of just my own, and that's always like that might take away energy or attention from what I need to focus on, because this format is fickle, which makes it kind of like cringe to a lot of people who are otherwise more well off, or like kind of business tycoon types or whatever. I mean, in general, a lot of people will have like good advice about like staying away from like a lot of the pitfalls of art and shit, and some really good old seasoned like people out there, really good with their craft. I think nowadays are really starting to wane off of the medium simply because of how rotten it is. You'll have like a lot of dumb kids get online and like say a lot of stupid shit about what you do when they shouldn't be on there anyways, or granted, I think a lot of that time that comes from whenever people only draw things that a lot of dumb kids will watch. And by dumb kids, I mean probably people in there they're like 16, 17 on Twitter, and then just being like, "You're going, oh, why are you sexualizing a 20-year-old girl?" I mean, granted, I'm like, I don't know. It's like bringing like steaming pile of hot dogs to a picnic, you're gonna attract flies no matter what. Even though it wasn't intended for flies, there's always something. It's gonna, well, not always, but there's gonna be something. There always has to be something there that's attracting them, and you have to be, kind of do have to take partial responsibility and be like, all right, it's maybe the problem isn't what I'm making. The problem is how I've advertised it or the way it's being expressed, because I don't think it's that hard to like disengage people that annoy you like that, because you'll notice you never see them like harass people who like draw like I know it's like way out there, but like mechs and shit, you know. I've never, and maybe it happens here and there, right? Maybe it's like a little niche thing I just don't know about, but here's the thing. There's so many controversies I've known about, I've seen, that I've had nothing to do with and I don't want to know about, but it happens to just be in my periphery because like it just got that big because the algorithm likes arguments and stuff like that, right? So like man, this grid pattern is really uneven. Oh, this is not for perfect people. Who cares? But like the what was I saying? So like I've never once seen like someone who like drew Gundam all the time or something and got mad controversy. There was nothing. There's never anything like, there's no racial controversies I ever got. There was no like sexualized controversies I ever got. There's no nothing, man. Like, they just get to be in their niche because it's so perfectly honed to people who care about what they do. But if you do a lot of like fan art stuff, then because doing a lot of fan art stuff is like swirling in a hive of different like IPs apart from your own skill, your own talents, and that will inevitably like garner attention from people who are invested in those said IPs but not really invested in like creativity, which conflates two audiences and two mindsets and two passions that conflict, because consumption and creation are two very different things, and like there's no empathy. They have no empathy for what it entails, like any of it. So, and you can't really expect them to. Like a lot of the content that they consume is meant to make them stupid. There's no doubt in my mind that a lot of things have been like purposefully manufactured to make people dumb, and it's for malicious intent, and it's because you can like farm, if you understand people enough, or like socializing enough, or like, you know, if you know what the dumb gene is and you know how to like play that note, like it's like a brown note or something, but it's like a dumbass note. If you can play a dumbass note in the form of like media and just make someone stupid, then you're gonna be able to like guarantee that like, all right, their enjoyment and what makes them tick or whatever, it's much more predictable now, so you can like bank off of that. So anyways, we're just about done with the cracks in the pavement here. So now I'm gonna go in and be a little bit more complex. Like I'm gonna stick with the shading element here. I might end up switching the gooch brush though. I might go for a watercolor, but I'm gonna stick with it for now, just to see if I can get what I'm thinking about doing here with this thing. Now, like I said, it's really difficult to manage to get this thing to like cooperate sometimes. Yeah, more of the padding. Get it to cooperate and make it like make certain like the brush feel a little bit lighter when I'm doing certain stuff like this. Man, it's really, really tough to like get what I'm going for here. I might switch it to the opaque watercolor. Oh shit. Opaque watercolor. Yeah, that might work, but it's still a little heavy. It's a little heavy. You know what? In real time, you're seeing in real time me having to switch technique right now. So, let me just go back to, where the fuck was I? Yeah, thick paint gooch. Let me get a little extreme here, because I want to use some of the tapping technique just to give it some, oh my god, it's too big. I want to give ugh. We'll go around the edges here and just start patting it a bit, something like that. Oh yeah, this is where it gets way more complicated. I'm using the blur tool now too. Alright, get the 700, that one out. 700. Yeah. Just give it more sort of earthly texture right there. And here and there and here and there. And maybe just everywhere. And go back to this. So start to wipe some of that down. And you see it's starting to, what I'm doing, I'm just trying to layer like some weathered texture all over the place, just as much as possible. In fact, let me see how much harm I'll do if I just give it the way bigger brush right here, way bigger. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, see how filthy and war-torn that's getting now? Okay. So, I'm thinking, because I want it to add more like shaded depth right there where the sort of the epicentral part of the crack is. So let me zoom in here and just try to sample some of the pseudo shading that I've already given it. By pseudo shading I mean like it just barely, it's not really part of the formidable part of the technique, but it's just me trying to like give some good old guff here. Alright, let me put that below. Try to put hold on. Try to put all the shading below where the line, where the cracks, like the harder cracks are. So, use some of that. Now I'm just going to go and just use the plane eraser tool, just so that I have some control over creating like a sense of depth or whatever. Let's see here. Does that work? Does that work? Really shouldn't be doing this on the fly whatsoever. Up here. People who really do like art, you know, probably cringing at this a little bit, but be impressed that I'm just making this up as I go. Be impressed that I didn't spend thousands of dollars to be told what to do about this. Okay. Still trying to get this to feel like it's deviating in the fucking thing here. I'm gonna go in with some of these like little pebbles, give it some more shading around them, whatever. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. Some of that. Way more over here, because this is a much lighter shading color, so I think I can get away with extending the range of this gooch and then just going pretty hard, going pretty ham with that one. Right around here in the back, right here too. And the more shading that you apply to certain parts here, the more it'll look like some of these blocks or whatever, like some of these segments are uneven, which is why I put more emphasis on like the darker parts of like those parts of the crack right there. Like, yeah, that sort of looks more like it's been punctured. Not like too deeply, like it's sort of shallow. Like you dropped the bowling ball from 70 stories. But let me see here. Let me get this shit. You get smaller, bitch, now. Okay. Put that down there. You see? It's pretty good. It's not so bad. It's a little bad. It's not bad. It's not that bad. But it's a little bad. And yes, that is a way for me to elevate my ego, knowing that, like, it's actually not bad, but I'm going to say it's bad to make it look even better. Here, mean, it's not so bad. If I'm arrogant but I'm still helpful, then I can fucking feel whatever the fuck I want. But, I don't pull up the ladder. I get everyone as high as I am. I want people to succeed. I want people to be real good at stuff. I want people to feel like they could be really good at stuff without being so fucking angry at themselves all the time or something. That's annoying. Stop doing that. Hell, that's a waste of anger if it's not constructive, man. Just translate all of that pissed off shit into something something innovative. Being pissed off is one of the best things ever because you have the most energy you've ever had. But if you're able to put it into, if you're able to wrangle it in like a bull, you could do basically anything. Constructive rage is the fucking best. Absolutely. So I'm not gonna be a candy ass and tell you just to be just calm down. It's fucking self-love. You love yourself plenty. That's why you're pissed off. You want something better. It's fucking really don't. I better keep this whole thing in. How long have I been going? 40 minutes. Dude, a lot of this will be fucking cut out. I want I don't want all this to be in here. You guys won't watch it if it's 40 minutes. You'll be like, another podcast about nothing. You guys just have a podcast voice, a podcast mic, or a podcast audience. Why should I be here? Why should I sustain this onslaught of stupid shit? What, is he just afraid of the fucking silence? Or is it dead air? Well, you have a dead audience, dude. No one gives a shit. I'm around a lot of toxic people, I think. I think I'm around too many people who probably wouldn't say that, but I know they would think it. Oh my god. The sun's out and the lighting, the brightness detection, the auto brightness thing on my iPad keeps it's not doing anything gradual. It's either really bright or really dark. It's not doing it. It's not doing it smooth like it's supposed to. Fucking bit. Okay. All right. Now I think that's trying to make this look less confusing every time I back up. Yeah, I think that's good now. It's good. Okay. So more of a cracked floor. Not finished yet. We still need to use the highlighting color. Oh, yes, laddie. We're using a highlighting color. We're going to go and, what is this, the cracked lines? I'll go below it. Below the, oh, shit. What is that? I'll go below the cracked lines. Isn't that the cracked, why is that happening? Oh, yeah, sorry, because of the masking layer. I interrupted the masking layer thing. So, alright. Let's go back to about 4 or something here. Begin to fill in some of these parts right there. Yeah. Even on top can look a little cheap. It'll make it look like, what are you trying to make it look like? It's waxy or something? Actually, I'll hold back on this a bit. I'll sort of smooth that all off of there. Because that is a good way to deal with cracked glass. If I zoom in right here and let me just make it white. Zoom in right here and I make it, oh shit, and I do this sort of thing. You see how that looks more that's cracked glass or whatever, and I can even extend that more. It's the same principle in a way, but glass is much more delicate. So it's gonna crack in much straighter lines, kind of like a spider web more than anything. A little spider web a crack more so than lightning pattern a crack. So that's what you would do with glass, but that's not the criteria here. So let me grab that fuck again. Just go back in, try to highlight certain areas. You can also use some of the same techniques where you put little divots and indentations all over the place. You can do that with the highlight one, but maybe a little less so. Just to make things stand out more, make these little fucking rocks stand out a bit. Yeah, see that? I guess I should stay zoomed out for a second so that you could see that. Like, that's, you know, that's decent. It's sort of difficult to translate this a little bit, but there, because I think because using this technique for like glass is like super like fun to do. And I think it's one of the latest techniques I remembered. Sometimes I'll end up conflating a couple of techniques to like things that don't call for it or whatever. I mean, that's usually how you come up with cooler new ideas anyways, if you're just like, oh fuck, I did this when I should have done that, but it works somehow. Just doing what works in a good way, not doing what works in a bad way, like selling Tengu eggs or something. I don't know. Or Tenga eggs. Tengu is something else. Is it Tenga? Dude, conventions are weird. I don't know. I don't know. When I was like what, 18, 19, even when I was like 17, I thought like, whoa, the fucking hentai booth, that's crazy. Oh my god. But then you just, I don't know, I think I just kind of, which is a weird thing to say. That's a weird thing to say, but I outgrew it. It's weird to say you outgrew, like, perverted shit, because it's like, that implies, like, you usually say, like, oh, I outgrew something childish. That's like saying that, like, porn is, like, childish, but in a way, it kind of, when you're over it, it really does feel like, oh, this is, like, for fucking high schoolers. This is for high schoolers to, like, fall into and then get addicted until they're, like, 23. And then, if they're still alone, guess what? You have a customer for life now. Fucking so fucked. It's so fucked. So fucked. We all need to repent. We all need to repent. We gotta do something good. And here's the good that I'm doing. Now we're gonna go in with the other section of the highlight. Now notice how like more complex this is versus just these rocks, because these are meant to just be fucked around with in an imperfect sort of way. But this one is meant to be like more, it's structured. There's more sensitive details that need to be catered to sort of attack the trick of the eye sort of techniques here. So I'm going to take this airbrush tool. It's set to soft. I'm going to have the the airbrush is flaccid. I'm going to set it to that. I'm going to go in and do this. Just pick a side. Just pick whatever side and just let it become like a fluent gradient across the entire board here. See? Right there? Okay. Now, do a little more damage control. I'm going to erase some of that around the areas where you want to have more perceived depth. I'm doing good. I really don't know what the fuck I'm actually doing, but I'm doing good. They're buying it. They're really buying it. And smooth that out a little bit. Okay, now, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. We're going to add a little more depth. Now going with the shade one, select that and get the soft brush, and then do this in the back right here. Yeah, just like that. So you really have two elements here. You have the broader element of like the highlight shading going like this, and the shaded shading, or whatever the fuck. The highlight part taking over one section and the shaded part taking over the other section. Most kind of like a yin-yang sort of situation. I do want to go in and like erase some of these parts that like stand out more, doing kind of like the sort of a similar technique I was using with the highlight one, erasing certain parts just to preserve a lot of the detail that I've already established. Shit. There we go. Preserve a lot of the detail that I've already established here and there. These are, oh man, God almighty, it's so fucking difficult to utilize that brush sometimes. So I'm gonna go back in with the watercolor one. Watercolor one, I usually bounce between these two or something, but I feel like the watercolor one really helps out quite a bit. I don't know. Alright, so that's about it. That's about all I know. That's the full capacity to what I know about constructing just destructive rubble. I could not tell you about making it look like it's like oh god, that was not a good belch. Okay. Okay, so that, how long has it been? Oh, an hour. Oh my god. Fuck off. Alright. So that there, that's a dude, intros and outros are so stupid. I don't know what the fuck. What am I supposed to say? I'd rather just end it. I'd rather just cut the video.